Peace, YouTube family. Today's video, I want to briefly touch on the subject: the cost of freedom is being disliked by other people. Now, I've recently been reading this book. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. I got it right here. I won't butcher the author's name because I won't be able to pronounce it, but that's what the book is right here. It's pretty much a conversation between a philosopher and a young man who is like consulting with him every week, and they're having a profound conversation, right, touching on a lot of topics based around interpersonal relationships between one person and another, and how that establishes what they feel about themselves, the purposes they have in these relationships, and a whole bunch of other things, right? But the main topic, freedom. When I say the cost of freedom is being disliked by other people, it's not that you're doing things purposely trying to get people to dislike you, right? Like you just doing negative things. You're insinuating violence, hate, things that will bring people to dislike you, and you're doing it for that sole purpose. That's not what I mean. The cost of freedom is being okay with other people disliking you, because the truth is we can't please everybody. No matter how hard we were to try. If our sole focus was to be like, man, I need everybody to like me, I need everybody to be cool with me, it wouldn't work out. There would at least be one person that would dislike what you're doing, and that is perfectly fine. If there are people that don't agree with what you're doing or dislike you because of how you're living your life, that's you exercising your freedom, your free will to live on your own principles, right? Nobody will be able to understand the path that you have set for yourself, the desires that you have, the goals that you have. Nobody will be able to understand that, because it's not meant for them to understand. It was put on your mind for a reason. Because I noticed one thing. I've noticed that I've done people pleasing in my past. I've done some people pleasing, and I've noticed people around me who are like outstanding people pleasers, right? But it puts limitations on you. It puts up walls on your personality, on what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. It limits who you are, because you're trying to live within a box of society that's acceptable, right? Let's think about Jesus for a second. When Jesus came down here and the times that he was in, he was raising up so much commotion and confusion amongst the land, because what he was teaching was so obscure, if that's the right term, for the world or the society that it was at that present time. So what Jesus was saying, people was like, whoa, what's wrong with you? This dude, he claiming to be this, he claiming to be that, he claiming he sent from God, and people weren't trying to hear that. Like, whoa, you tripping, right? But that didn't stop Jesus from producing his message, right? And living the way he lived. He knew that people wasn't going to agree with what he was saying. That's not going to stop him from living in his truth. And it's the same for everybody else, right? You will never elevate to your highest potential until you get over the fact that people is not going to like you. You're going to have haters. You're going to have enemies, right? Even with this YouTube stuff and this content stuff, I knew going into it, like, everybody not going to like my message. For one, my channel, the way I live my life, my messages, they're not for everybody. They're for a certain specific group of people who want and can benefit from this type of content. I done got comments of dudes talking all types of crazy, right? But I knew that going into it. That's not gonna stop me from making my content. And I want y'all to take in that same attitude. No matter if everybody, well, this is the thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't care what people think. I'm saying you shouldn't care that much to the point where it affects how you live your life. That's what I'm saying. At the bottom line of all the things that we do, working jobs, going to school, learning skills, conducting business, it's all leading towards freedom. Freedom in some sort, right? So in that pursuit of freedom, there's going to be opposition. So we have to embrace that opposition and understand that, and don't let it stop us from moving forward and evolving, right? It may be your parents, it may be your family, it may be the closest ones to you that dislike how you're living your life, right? But if deep down you truly feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, then you have to be okay with people that's close to you not liking what you're doing. They don't understand, right? And they may understand down the line or they may not. But if it's deep down burning inside of you, man, I need to do this. Do it. Do it. Block out what everybody think about what you should do. Nobody's going to live your life for you. So they shouldn't even have the audacity to tell you, oh, you need to do this. This is perfect for you. You should do this and never do nothing else. That's crazy talk. But I'm going to read an excerpt out of this book, The Courage to Be Disliked, just to give some context of the book, of this section. And it was just a profound conversation, in my opinion. Okay, it says, philosopher, right? This is the philosopher speaking. In short, that freedom is being disliked by other people. The youth says, huh? What was that? It's that you are disliked by someone. It is proof that you are exercising your freedom and living in freedom, and a sign that you are living in accordance with your own principles. Now the youth is like, but, because he's pretty much, in this book, he's trying to combat everything the philosopher is saying because it's going against his way of thinking, right? The philosopher says, it is certainly distressful to be disliked. If possible, one would like to live without being disliked by anyone. One wants to satisfy one's desires for recognition, but conducting oneself in such a way as to not be disliked by anyone is an extremely unfree way of living and is also impossible. There is a cost incurred when one wants to exercise one's freedom, and the cost of freedom in interpersonal relationships is that one is disliked by other people. Now I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. One neither prepares to be self-righteous nor becomes defiant. One just separates tasks. There may be a person who does not think well of you, but that is not your task. Thinking things like, he should like me, or I've done all this, so it's strange that he doesn't like me, is the reward-oriented way of thinking of having intervened in another person's task. One moves forward without fearing the possibility of being disliked. One does not live as if one were rolling down a hill, but instead climbs the slope that lies ahead. That is freedom for a human being. It's a profound writing, profound conversation. Hold on, let me fix this. In this book, it talks about separating tasks. And that's pretty much just like, that's pretty much saying focus on what you can control. You can't control if another person likes you, right? As much as you worry about it, as much as you try to, damn, did I do this wrong? Did I say this wrong? You gonna run yourself into the ground trying to figure out why another person dislikes you or why another person does these things that you can't control, right? So it's prominent that you focus on what you can control. And that's true freedom, right? I'm not saying be cold-hearted and just not care about nothing. Nah. Just control what you can control. And that's it for this video. I just wanted to briefly touch on this topic because it was on my soul to say something, and Hopefully y'all gain value and benefit from this content, from this video, from this subject. And leave a like, comment, subscribe if y'all like these videos, if y'all like this content. And I'm wishing y'all the best. Have a blessed rest of y'all day. Peace, prosperity, love, joy, all of those good things. And we gone. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.